Hello, everybody. Video looks great. Thanks, Britt. Britt's upstairs watching, keeping the cats happy. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. We haven't streamed on YouTube in 7 or 8 years. Getting everything set up here. It seems to be fine. But bear with us. We haven't done any live streaming in a really long time. And last time we did it was on Twitch. So we're seeing what it's like on YouTube. Who am I going to call? I'm going to call the Ghostbusters. That's right. I should have more Ghostbusters props. There we go. Oh, my proton or my PKE meter is acting up a little bit. It doesn't want to do any of the things. just lights up briefly. What if I give it a hand? Well, now it doesn't want to do anything. Ah! Ah ha ha! All right, we'll turn that off for now. I got a trap over there. You guys see there's a new PKE meter and trap that HasLab is doing. Hasbro is putting out, they did their proton pack, and then they recently they do like a crowdfunding thing for big launches. So they're doing the pack, or they're doing the two versions of the PKE meter. They got the Zappy one, or maybe it's like a thing you swap out, but they have the one with the Zappy thing and the classic. And they have a trap with the part that slides out. It looks wicked cool. I might have to get it. New HasLab's Ghostbusters announcement. Yeah, I'm really pumped for that. Although at some point I want to make a trap out of aluminum, like a metal one. That would be really cool. I also have like a 20% off Halloween, Spirit Halloween coupon upstairs, which will get me a banging deal on another proton pack. Might have to do that too. Hi from New Mexico. Thanks for swinging by. Let's see. Testing Limits is here. See some old faces, some old names. Hello, friends. We'll get started. We're going to do a Q&A. We'll get started with doing that in a little bit. The first thing I need to do is announce the winner of the giveaway we were doing. We'll wait a couple more minutes, but I made a couple of these. These are printed in PLA. It's the Rattler from Starfield. I'll tell you a story about why I have two of these. So whenever I put out a 3D printed kit, so it's a kit you have to assemble. You get the file, you download the files, you print them yourself, and then you got to put them together. Whenever I do that, I film a separate assembly video. So for my Blade Runner gun, which is right here, for this guy, this is the prototype. That's why it's blue. For that one, for my Tri-Gun revolver, and now for this, I filmed a separate assembly video to show which holes to tap, what screws to use, that sort of thing. It's just like an overhead camera, really simple. So I did that for the Rattler. And since I had already finished the resin one, this is the one that's all painted with wooden grips, I needed another one. So I printed this in PLA in all of the mostly right colors. And I filmed an assembly video, but halfway through, once I glued everything together, there's one step where I did a lot of gluing. I realized I didn't film that. I didn't hit record. I did that thing where you hit record, but it's really stopping, and then for a while you stop when you mean to record and record when you mean to stop. Did that for a while and realized I was far beyond the point where I could go back and redo any of it. So I had to make another one. So I printed a second one and I refilmed my assembly video. But that meant I had two. So in our last Blaster retrospective video, we had a little bit of a giveaway. People just had to leave a comment telling what their favorite prop was from that video. And we randomly picked a winner. And we picked a winner, and I'm going to announce it soon, very soon. Very excited about that. A secondary effect of that giveaway in the Blaster video we did, I asked everyone to point out what they thought was their favorite, but people also said some very nice words, very kind things. People have been watching our videos for a long, long time. A lot of people who like to point out which project sort of brought them into the fold, which project introduced them to Punish Props and what we do here. So that was really lovely to read all those comments. Hundreds of comments. Wonderful, wonderful words. You guys are really sweet, and I appreciate it. And I'm glad that one of you gets to win one of these things here. Let's just take a peek over here. We have someone from Costa Rica. That's amazing. I look like a young Harold Ramey. Thank you. I could be Egon, especially with my PKE meter. Yeah, actually, so I actually have 3 Rattlers now. Look at this guy. Oops, all Rattlers. They've got the reloading mechanism, so you push this little lever here, it slides out, and then clicks back in. Oh, how good is that? And this is a brown filament here on the wood-looking grip, and then this one is a wood filament here. And they look pretty similar. It's just a little more matte. I don't know if you could tell. But this one actually was done with wood filament. We've got some Protopasta walnut wood filament. Yes, the click is very satisfying, isn't it? Yeah. All right, so the hardware looks so good. Thanks, Kevin. Thank you so much, Kevin, for always being a shining beacon of hope in our little community. Kevin's the man. He likes to bake cookies and sometimes send them to me, which I'm forever grateful for. All right, let's announce the giveaway. I've already reached out to this person, so hopefully they've already heard about it. But the winner is commenter named The Man 5298. The Man 5298, and the man's favorite blaster was the Blade Runner blaster. A lot of you thought that was your favorite. It's one of our first very complicated builds that we did. Of course, the files are available on our website if you want to make one yourself. The man here says that it was one of the first props he tried to make, the Blade Runner blaster. A lot of people, I think, are in that camp. He says, it's been a great ride and learned lots from you. Well, we're gonna keep making videos then. So that's our giveaway. Again, one of these Rattlers is gonna go out to the man. It'd be amazing if he was in chat right now. But otherwise, we've reached out and we'll connect and mail this out. Thank you, everyone, for playing along. Like I said, it was really wonderful getting those amazing comments. You guys are really swell. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Kevin is working on a dog costume, Fallout dog costume. Actually, it's mostly done. If I had a dog, I would definitely make him a costume. We tried to make costumes for our cats. They refuse to wear them. They're absolute party poopers. Fallout Gamer says that my favorites of your builds have always been from Fallout. That makes sense. We saw a lot of them around, too. We haven't made anything from Fallout in a while. I think the last thing was probably the Fat Man, which is just in the room back there. It has like its own area because it's so big. We got more friends showing up here. We got Alex, Strickland. Got all sorts of friendly faces showing up, flagging. Everything's coming up, Rattler. Fabulous. Entertaining says, appreciate all you do. Thank you. We like doing it. Nerdy Views is here. Elton is here. You want to talk about Ghostbuster aficionado? I'm a fan, but Elton's a super fan. And also one of our good buddies. Thanks for being here, Elton. Another beacon of hope in our community. Big fan of the Proton Pack and the Samaritan videos. Classics. My Proton Pack's upstairs. I thought about bringing it down, but I don't really have anywhere to put it. And I'm not wearing it. That thing's heavy. Half-Life throwback builds. Have I built anything from Half-Life? Yeah, of course. Well, Half-Life Alex. I built the grenade as a tape measure from Half-Life Alex, but not the original Half-Life. Although I have a crowbar I could paint red. I remember playing Half-Life, the original one, way back when it came out. But more than that was Counter-Strike. We played an astonishing amount of Counter-Strike in college. All right, so that's the giveaway. Again, I'm going to point out one more time. The man 5298 was our winner. And thank you, everyone else, for playing along. All right. We are going to do a bit of a Q&A today. I'm going to hang out for an hour or two, and I'm just going to take your guys' questions. I've got some of my new stuff around, some new things we worked on, got lots of old stuff. Happy to answer questions about any of the props or costumes we made, what we've been up to recently. If you want to know anything about how we do our YouTube thing or how we do our prop making and bookmaking business. If you want to know anything about our adventures, we live a pretty weird life. We've gotten to do some cool stuff. If you want to know anything about any of that, anyone we've worked with, you want to hear about any tested stuff, please leave a comment in the chat there, and I'll do my best to answer all of those. I'm here for you today. I'm here to answer your questions and hang out and help. If you can, people tag me in the. Can you do like @PunishedProps in the chat so that it pops up for me? That would make it a little easier for me to see. Otherwise, I'll hunt for question marks. Favorite CNC. Andrew Mercer wants to know, what's your favorite CNC project? Got a Shea Poco as well, and I'm looking for ideas. So the wooden grips are like the obvious choice. These are really, really cool. But I really love. Hey, Britt's here. Hey. I really love my Star Trek badge that I did out of brass and aluminum. It's small. It's a good project to get started on. You could cut it out of wood. You could do a wood one if you want. You could do it out of like a harder foam for practice before going to metal. Small things that you can do lots of times without a lot of material are great for practice if you're getting started on the CNC machine. So definitely look up that Star Trek badge. Here's Britt. Oh, you have the tall chair, don't you?
You want to switch?
Yeah, we can switch. Huh? There you go. I want to tinker with that hair. There we go. There's my lovely wife.
Hello.
Yay.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Yes, happy Halloween. you gotta have a costume. Let's see. What was the Dread Cure? What was the easiest build you did? We've done some one-day builds that were pretty quick and easy. You know, it was easy, but that bear head we did with Ali Spagnola was very fast. We happened to have all the materials. We found patterns online right away. Like that thing just came together fast. This is, by the way, these are aluminum and they're heavy. I can't actually wear that for a very long time.
I like with the bear head that it really showed what's available in current times for cosplay. Because the bear head pattern, was that one you found online?
Yep.
Yeah, I know the
found
horns.
on Etsy.
Yeah, it had antlered horns, and that one we found on Etsy
as well. Yeah.
And so good on you, foamsmiths out there, for selling patterns. It made it so much easier.
Tony Graybeard wants to know, what's our favorite build of all time? I like to go with the Draugr Deathlords costumes that we did. We both worked on that costume a lot together. The response was amazing, and it's just so much fun to wear. So much fun to walk around as a creepy undead thing with glowing eyes. Let's see. David wants to know, how many days since glitter? Let's check the glitter sign. Let's see. 2 days. We are 2 days glitter free. But spoiler, that never gets higher than 2 days.
Dragon Con reset us to 0.
Yeah.
Someone put glitter on our faces and it got in our luggage.
We did get a lot of Amy Double D glittered everyone's face.
I got a tunic costume.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. There we go. Very cute. Let's see. Andre says, somehow this feels like a return to old times. Since I also just got back from my first post-COVID con, and I'm suddenly motivated to craft things again. Awesome. Yeah, that's how I felt after I got COVID at Dragon Con, and then once I was over that, I was like, okay, I'm ready to go. I was feeling very inspired from Dragon Con, but then I got sick. Let's see here. Vex wants to know, haven't seen you in a tested video in a long time. Do you still work with them? Yes, in fact, I worked with them yesterday. Norm was in town to film a thing, and I was his camera operator. I went to help him, and then Norm and I filmed a video here for our channel. I just haven't been down to the Bay Area in a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
I went down for SillyCon last summer, which was Adam's convention, and I did all that with them, which was super fun. But I haven't been to Tested HQ in a while. Things haven't really. They used to have people come in and go in there a lot to film things, and that hasn't really rebounded since COVID. A lot of what they're doing right now is just focused on what Adam's up to. Which, if you got an Adam, you use them. So I haven't been to the space in a long time. I want to. I talked about it a lot with Norm yesterday. We'll figure it out. We'll be down there at some point.
Did you want to give a teaser of what you guys did yesterday?
I don't want to.
Not work related, but for our channel.
Oh yeah, for our channel.
Yeah.
So Brittany and I got a new 3D printer. Our buddy Pooch and the folks at Prusa hooked us up with a Prusa Mark IV 3D printer, and I needed something to print on it, to test it out. So Jury over at 3D Workbench had hooked me up with files for one of his Starfield blasters, the Eon. So we printed this thing out as a test print. And then Norm was here, and it was just I had all these Space Gun parts ready to go. So we filmed a short video where Norm and I assembled this whole thing, just glued it together and chatted a little bit.
Yeah, we got to put Norm to work. It was great.
It was terrific. So that'll be next week's video. Look for that on Monday, unless you're a member of the Extra Credit Club, in which case you'll get to watch it on Friday. So we put this together. We tried to pick some different colors for all the parts to match as best we could based on what colors we had, but it was a fun little thing I got to do with Norm. It's been a while since I got to build stuff with Norm.
Yeah.
I like hanging out with that guy.
Bill used to be on the Tested Premium a lot back when they had their membership on their website. But yeah, since the pandemic, it really hasn't had a lot of guest stuff going on.
Rylan wants to know, have you done anything for film or television? I worked on a commercial for the game Lawbreakers, that massive hit. I worked for Frank Ippolito for a week on that. We did some costumes, some props. The main prop that I made doesn't even show up on camera. I spent like 2 days on a really rad space gun, and it completely got missed. But I had a ton of fun working with Frank and his team. This was years ago. His team is a lot bigger now, and he has a much bigger space. But it was fun. We got to do some foam smithing. We got to do some CNC. We got to do some mold making and casting and painting. A lot of different processes. This was really great.
Do you want to tell them about how your prop was featured in the commercial?
Which one?
Oh, that was the Lawbreakers one. How it was cut out of frame.
Oh yeah. And you can tell too. It was a gun, and he was about to bring it up to the camera, and they were like, and cut, just before it went on screen.
Oh, my work. So I feel like you got the full experience of what it's like to make something for film.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, spend 2 days on a thing that doesn't make the edit.
Yep.
I did get a casting of it, though, and it's in the room over there. So at least I have that.
I could go dig it out, but I have no idea where it is.
It was the Badger. I don't know if anyone played Lawbreakers. I don't know if that ended up in the game, but it was this giant pistol called the Badger. It was definitely way too big. But if you're making a prop gun and you're not sure if it's too big or too small, err on the side of making it too big. Let's see, what else do we have? Lots of questions coming in. This is wonderful. Let's see. Any plans to do another mask or prosthetic video like we did with Modulus Props with Nick? That was so much fun.
We should just do another one. Helpful to a costume I want to do.
Yeah, like an elf ear sort of thing. Yeah, we're thinking about like 3D scanning Brittany's ear and then printing it and then sculpting on it either with clay or in 3D.
Mm-hmm.
We could even 3D print a mold.
Yeah, and then do a casting out of it in like silicone or latex.
That'd be
really awesome. Yeah, that'd be really fun.
So that's we've had conversations about that.
But we should just do more videos with Nick. He's awesome.
That's true. We should just.
He's like a full-time prop maker now, so it's not that he probably has less time now actually, but.
Mr. G. Willikers would like to know, how did you like Baldur's Gate 3?
Oh my gosh, I just finished it yesterday.
Yeah.
It was really good. It's not that I had low expectations because I played Divinity 2, and I knew the studio, and I was like, this is the soul of Baldur's Gate. So when they were doing Baldur's Gate 3, I knew it was going to be good, but they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
All of the actors were mocapped and facial captured. So it's like you're talking with real people, even though they still look like video game characters, just the way they move and the way all the voice acting is so good. And it's so D&D. Like some of the ways I completed encounters were so ridiculous. At one point, one of my group members turned into a wheel of cheese. That's a thing that can happen. And it felt like I was around the table with a D&D group. It was awesome.
And if I ever have to make a costume from that game, now I will be a wheel of cheese. You could be a druid or something, and I'll be a wheel of cheese.
Awesome. No, I want to make I love my favorite character was Karlak. She's just so cool and up for helping out. She's always like, yeah, let's go fight stuff. I'm like, yay. There's no drama or anything about it. So she's awesome. It'd be fun to cosplay her. But we'll see.
Anthony Phoenix says, how does it feel knowing you've taught many people like me just about everything they know about prop and costume making? Feels great. We talked to a lot of people at Dragon Con this year who had similar stories, and we hide in our house in our basement all day, and feedback we get on the internet is nice, but when you talk to people face to face and they give you that kind of validation, it hits harder.
Especially when you get to see something they made.
Yeah, if they have the thing they made with them, it feels terrific. There was a point, I don't know when specifically, but there was a point when we decided, well, we're going to make tutorials. We're going to teach people what to do. For a while, we were making props and costumes and selling them, and that was kind of our main thing. But once we got into the YouTube thing and started making way more videos, we decided, okay, from now on, or at least for a while, Punish Props is going to be a tutorial thing. And since then, millions of people have watched our videos, and if they've taken away even just one technique from one video, then I feel like we've accomplished our mission. It feels pretty great. Thanks, Anthony. Tony Graybeard wants to know if there are any games you just can't stop playing or a favorite game.
Do we want to talk about backpack battles?
We've been playing a lot of backpack battles lately. It's an auto battler.
It's just the demo. It's not even out yet.
It's not even fully out yet, but it's really fun.
It's I don't know if you guys ever played Super Auto Pets. It's another auto battler. It's very like simple strategy kind of game, like an auto chess game. And backpack battles is like that with a little more depth. And it's just silly. It's silly.
Look it up. It's free on Steam. You could just play it for free. The demo with 2 characters, and it's great. Other than that, we start up a new Valheim game about every 6 months.
We are currently trying out Return to Moria, which is because we love our survival crafting games. More of the crafting than the survival part. But the premise of the game is you're dwarves that are with an older Gimli that are trying to take back Moria. And your dwarves that you create get stranded inside Moria and have to get your way out. So we've been doing that, and it's pretty fun. I mean, we're not big on the combat parts, but the building looks really fun.
Yeah, it's great.
And the dwarf art is all great. It's all like
I'm a sucker for that stuff.
The hard lines, it's all great.
Stephen Hall says, do you still have the ANET A8? That was the cheapest 3D printer I could find at the time. And no, as soon as I was done making videos with that, I gave it to a friend. I don't know what he's done with it. He did make a lot of stuff on it. Yeah. But I don't know where it is now. When you have that, we bought that printer for a video series to prove that we could do it. But I also have, at the time, I had an Ultimaker, and it's not even a comparison. If I have to choose one or the other to print stuff, I'm going to print it on the Ultimaker. All right. Great questions, everyone. This is terrific. Happy Halloween. Let's see. Matt Gilbert says, do you have any full costume builds in the pipeline or any costumes you wish you could do? I'm going to have to make a space suit from Starfield.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that's what I'll have for Dragon Con next year.
Mm-hmm. That'd be pretty great.
I have some favorites, some front runners.
Yeah.
I haven't quite picked it out yet. We do have. I bought some visors. Oh, they're down here. Look at that.
Yeah, we're when we did the Satisfactory helmets, we got a visor that looked like it was going to work. We 3D scanned it and then built a helmet around it. So we're kind of thinking we might do that for one of the Starfield visors. So we're trying out some different visors, seeing 3D scanning them, putting them in 3D space, and seeing what 3D model from the game would fit well with them.
Mm-hmm.
And if that doesn't work, we'll just vacuum form our own.
Right.
We can do that here because we have a vacuum form table, but we know that people at home might not. So we're like, if there's a store-bought option we could use.
If someone could do like a foam helmet and then stick this in it,
That'd
or
be
a
great.
3D print, like I could give out the 3D files, people could print it.
Exactly.
And then stick this in there, that'd be great. But I bought, so far all I've done is bought these blank models.
Yeah. And I've been poking around the models in the game, and we picked out a couple suits. But yeah, no full decisions. I definitely want to make something from Baldur's Gate 3. Karlach would be an awesome costume. It would be quite the commitment because it's a red face paint. Not too bad, but that would include the elf ears that we could do. She has pointy ears. She's a tiefling. I could do horns and a tail. So that could be a fun couple project videos.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Carlos Garcia wants to know if we use Armor Smith. I've tinkered with it a little bit, but I haven't used it in a while. I wonder if it's been updated. I think Randy was the guy who was working on that.
Yeah, we did a Q&A with him back when it was in its prototype phase.
That was like 6 years ago.
Yeah, so I bet it's really cool now.
Yeah.
I haven't used it since.
Adam B says, any chance you might be in the UK for a con in 2024? I don't have anything planned, but if you have a convention there and you want me to show up, send them my way and see if they want to invite me as a guest. I would be happy to fly out to the UK. It's been a while.
Yeah, we haven't been actively looking for convention appearances, but if it's an excuse to go to Europe, that's always good. We have a lot of cool friends out there we haven't seen in a while.
Mr. G. Willikers just says that I learned prop making from y'all like 8 years ago. Now it's his main work, selling stuff that he makes. That's incredible. So yeah, that stuff makes me feel amazing. You guys build me up so much. You're wonderful. Testing Limits says, no questions, but you guys have taught me so much over the last decade. It has been a while, hasn't it? We did that video last week on the retrospective of all the blasters. Not even all of them, but a lot of them. 14 years we've been doing it. I have a list of every major prop or project that we finished since then. It's got 230 plus things on it. Yeah. And some of those things, like a single line on that spreadsheet, is like our Kickstarter gun. We made like 150 of those things. Yeah. It's been a while. Thank you, Testing Limits. You're great. Okay. Let's cruise through some more questions. Will there be any video of any Warhammer 40K props? Probably not. We don't play any of those games. Stephen K. Smith is more your jam. He's done a couple of things.
SKS Props. He has some videos out, I believe, on one of his Warhammer costumes. He loves Warhammer. He loves the grimdark stuff. So yeah, I one time I tried to ask him to explain Warhammer to me, and I was like, okay, so who are the good guys? And he just responded, yes. And we're like, who are the bad guys? Yes. I like happy settings where you could tell that people are there's some bit that can make them happy. They're not always sad. Like in Diablo and Sanctuary, which is like purgatory. Everyone's sad. It's like
no one's happy.
Why even live there? Not that they have a choice, but it's such a bummer location to hang out in.
Yeah. Kevin wants to know, what's the most frustrating build or project you guys have done? Most of the time, frustration comes from not having enough time.
Yeah.
Having a short deadline. For a while, this was years ago, we were cranking out a video every single week, which was like just insanity. We were doing a full build video every single week. And that was bonkers. I know the Power Treads shoe was a struggle.
That was fun though. My only regrets with that one is that what I learned from it was to not make it the way I did. But that happens a lot of the time because a lot of what we make is a prototype. And it's like, well, if I was going to make it again, I would do it differently. And we point that out in the video if that's the case. In that case, it was inflatable costumes are getting really good with just fabric and fans. I ended up having to resort to a fan to make the giant inflatable shoe. But my goal was to not use a fan, to make it a full inflatable without leaking, and that was silly. That was a silly goal, and I didn't know that at the time.
So yeah, a lot of the most frustrating things come from doing a process that you're not totally familiar with, and you have a time crunch.
Yeah.
Because if I'm familiar with the process, then I can like pad the schedule, expecting certain things to potentially go wrong. But if you don't even know what might go wrong, it's impossible to like plan far enough ahead.
Yeah, you don't even know it's an option. Like it's like, oh, but this should have worked. So
let's see. Make sure throw more questions in there, you guys.
If we don't, I apologize if we don't get to them all. We're just kind of glancing at the chat.
Yeah, but if you tag @PunishPropsAcademy in the chat, we will see.
Yeah, it does highlight it. That's nice.
But thank you so much for the questions. These are terrific. Tony wants to know, you guys ever come to an Australian convention? Of course, same deal though. We got to get invited to go there, and I don't know any of the conventions. So if you talk to the people organizing it, if they may have a way you can reach out and say, hey, could you maybe invite these guys out?
The closest we got into Australia was New Zealand, but we haven't been to Australia at all yet.
That's true. And we have a few friends there, Jazza and Angus, and probably some more people.
Cosplay Chris.
Cosplay Chris and the dude from Friggin' Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to make it out there.
I just don't want to get bitten by the local critters.
No.
Or giant spiders.
Let's see here. Oh, Sushi Grimaud says, I'm also a game dev and cosplayer. Do you guys ever miss being in the industry? Britt worked on 3 video games.
Yeah.
Terra Online and Jewels of the Planeswalker and a little number called Destiny.
It was a really fun experience. It's weird. I'll still occasionally have dreams about being back in the industry. Just being like, oh, I have to get to the studio and work on stuff. I miss the people. I miss the collaboration, but I don't miss the work. I was in a lot of the QA and playtesting sections, and that's a total fun, awesome place to work as long as you have stuff to work on. But a lot of the times we were just kind of sitting there waiting for issues to come up, for things to find. And I always found it really boring checking out things that were working well.
Right, it's basically already done.
Exactly, like testing a strike over and over again, and it worked fine every time. Not that I wanted to break, but it made me feel like I wasn't doing something worthwhile with my time. And I can do just about anything as long as I know I'm helping. With Punished Props, I'm always helpful.
There's always something helpful to work on.
So that's the reason I quit, was to work on Punished Prop stuff. Because I saw a need. Bill wanted to get print versions of his Foamsmith books. And I was like, I can help with that.
Which we have right here.
Oh, you keep copies down
here? I have
here?
the stunt. This is the stunt book. Anytime we need to like film something with a book in it, this is the stunt book.
Because we dropped it and ripped it a little bit.
It's got a little beat up.
In the Mist book video, we dropped a Foamsmith book, and that's when it really got a little beat up there.
Let's see. We got Pedro says, greetings from Portugal. Amazing content and inspirational. How do you feel about changing from scratch building to 3D printing? Keep up the good work. When I was going over all the props I made over the last 14 years, it was fun to see the shifts in the types of techniques that we use. And everything we use is now in our toolkit. So we can foamsmith whatever, we can scratch build, mold and cast, 3D print. But right now I'm really excited about 3D printing. Brittany and I both went to school for 3D computer art. We used Maya and 3D Studio Max. And eventually ended up doing this prop thing. And then when 3D printers started taking off, I was like, hey, I already know how to 3D model.
Yeah.
So we've got some new printers. We have a new 3D printing venture that we're building. So we're just really kind of into that right now. Really pumped about that kind of work.
Like with something with really fine detail like this and is small, I would probably still want to model and 3D print it. But like if I'm doing a big shield like this, I'm still going to make it out of foam. Like it's so light and durable for a convention, and printing this just seems silly for such a shape that like lends well to foam. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's another toolkit, but it's the tool really into right now.
Yeah.
But like if I do a Carlet costume from Baldur's Gate, it's possible there's going to be no 3D printed parts on it because it's leather, metal, and prosthetics. The horns I probably do out of foam. That'd be a good video for that. Yeah. Testing
Limits says, you ever planning to do a sequel to your fusion course? So we've got a it's a 4-hour-long video course on Fusion 360. If you're a total beginner, that's exactly the place to start. I thought about doing like modules for it, like different projects and stuff. But the problem with that kind of thing is it's already a really small audience that wants that level of instruction. And as you get to more intermediate and professional level instruction, that audience gets smaller and smaller. So I don't think it's going to be worth it. And my plan with the original one was just to get people started, get people into it, teach them the lingo so that when they need to find more, they at least have a starting place. So like if you want to learn more, I cruise over doing sketches. There's a lot you can learn about in sketches. I really cruised over that to get people started, but I let them know what they need to look for if they want to know more. So probably not, but I've thought about it. We'll see.
Maybe something to do with a helmet, just because that's such a hard.
Right, like here's the basics of 3D modeling a helmet for a costume.
Yeah, that's getting the hang of sculpting and Fusion is weird, especially if you come from polygon modeling. It's different.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always work great. So.
Let's see here. Cruising down. Kevin says, new books on the horizon, or are there any that you would like to write? I actually started outlining a book recently that would not be really instructional. It would be more like a maker philosophy type of book.
Without many pictures.
Yeah, mostly words.
Weird.
These Foamsmith books are mostly pictures. And I'm very proud of the pictures. They're very nice pictures. Why is that pink?
Oh, that was for the mist. That was
for the mist.
The linking book. Yeah.
So yeah, I have a lot of books in me still.
Yeah, Bill has lots of ideas.
So many ideas.
But yes, he likes the idea of writing a word book. He's good at writing, and he wants to interview his friends. So it seems like the kind of book that would work well for that.
Michael DeViller wants to know, what would you recommend as a first foam project as a beginner? That is it still here? Yeah, the foam. Speaking of Destiny, the Hunter Dagger. It's an old video, but it's still good. We have free patterns. You can make it out of floor mats and like 2mm craft foam. Great place to start. And we have a bunch of others. Stephen K. Smith has a ton of great foam tutorials and patterns on his channel.
Yeah, he's got way more patterns than we do at this point for different foam projects. And his videos are very much instructional, so you can follow along. Mr.
G. Willikers wants to know, what software do we use for our books? We use InDesign.
Yeah, Adobe InDesign. It's not necessary, but we had the Adobe suite. So we have like Photoshop and Premiere for our video editing. So it includes InDesign. So that's what we use.
Adam B says, have you found any more old random objects like tools or greebles? Or do you have any more restoration projects like you had in the vlogs? So on Patreon, we used to do vlogs every week, behind the scenes vlogs, and sometimes we would do some restoration videos. Haven't done that in a while, but as far as greebles and stuff that, oh boy, this is heavier than I thought it would be.
Oh, this might be where that gun trigger, or what is it? The thing on the back of the revolver that you click back.
The hammer?
Yeah, the hammer. That might be where this is.
The one that broke off?
Exactly.
So for example,
oh my goodness,
I found this the other day, a decorative lug nut. Here, that has to go in the decorative lug nut drawer, because I have several. This is stuff that we find when we're like out for a walk. And this is full of all this stuff that you can't throw away. It's just so interesting.
This is a very heavy container.
Yeah, a lot of little metal bits.
Ooh, I don't know what that's from.
Yeah, I got ripped off something. Little things that you could mold and cast if you want a bunch of them.
You know, you go for walks, this is what you do, right? As a normal person.
Pick up trash that you made. That's a big old scary looking capacitor.
Is this a little Jedi figure?
Little Obi-Wan Kenobi. So yes, we still have lots of these greely type stuff.
Oh dear.
I just can't get myself to throw any of this away. It is pretty full. I might have to get.
I keep looking for this.
Yeah, we may need like a Sortimo to send that all to.
Yeah, so back when we do silicone molding, we would always have a little extra silicone left over that you mix up, or you don't have enough. It's either or. You never have just the right amount. So if we had a little left over, we would mold and cast these. Just have little extra molds.
Brass like plug sort of thing, all beat up.
beat up.
Yeah.
So cool. And then once you get a silicone copy, you can and you end up with extra resin, you can pour it in your little extra molds.
Yeah, we have lots of those too.
Like that's a casting.
This is a casting right here.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Tony Graybeard says, when COVID hit and you lost the factory, do you miss all that space? I do. That was a great space for making stuff. We rented a bigger workshop. It was about 2,300 square feet. We rented that from 2018 to 2021. And it was awesome. It was also very expensive. It was really pricey.
Yeah, I miss the room, the volume, but I don't miss the business pricing.
Yeah, what it costs to run that place.
Yeah, because it's more than just like the rent you pay. There's a lot of extra fees and
NNN, which is a scam as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, you have to pay for the upkeep of around the building, so like the mowing and the lawn care and stuff. And it's like, what if you just don't do that? It's like, no, we have to do it.
You have to pay to heat the place.
Yeah, and then
HVAC broke 2 years in a row. We had to pay to fix that. Yeah,
just a lot of extra stuff. And it was fine. Like everything went great there, but it was just a lot.
Mm-hmm. And Andre Canis says, how much has 3D software developed since you learned Maya or Max? 3D printing probably led to software getting easier to use for laypersons. It's not quite there yet. 3D modeling stuff is still a little technical. And in fact, Maya and Blender is very similar to Maya. And when you load that up as a beginner, it is overwhelming. There was an update to Blender a few years ago that made things a little better. But the problem with those programs is the great thing is you can make an entire movie in Maya. Mm-hmm. The bad thing is you can make an entire movie in Maya and every single tool exists. So if you don't know which one to use, it can be really overwhelming.
Yeah, probably Tinkercad is the most simplified version. It used to be 123D Design, but they got rid of that. So they just have Tinkercad and Maya or Fusion. But yeah, it's like the way I compare it is if you walk into someone's workshop, their physical workshop, and you don't know where any of their tools are, and if you've never made anything before, you don't even know what tools to look for. Yeah. But once you learn one modeling program, then it's like walking in someone's workshop, and you know what tools you want to use, you just don't know where they are. Right. But at least you know what to look for. Mm-hmm. So you can Google it. Like when I use Blender, I just Google all the time because I can never remember where anything is in that program.
The first thing I do when I open up Blender is I Google how to make the controls like mine, which is possible, which is great.
Yeah, they have a button for that.
Let's see here. Oh, this is a great one. Sean Craven says, are you ever going to release the Oblivion Blaster STLs? So that's this right here. It's right next to me.
Bill was just talking about that.
So when I was going back and looking back at all of a bunch of our old projects last week, I realized that one and the Boolean Gemini, which is right behind me up here.
And Ray's Blaster.
Which is right behind. These are all things that I 3D modeled, 3D printed, and never put out the STLs. So I'm going to take all of those, clean them up, and put them on our website.
Yeah, just on the free side.
There's like a dozen 3D models of things that I never put out. For a while, I had to stick up my butt about putting out STLs. I've gotten over that.
It was I mean, part of it was we didn't think that they would be good enough for printing, but I think the printers are what needed to improve. And I think they're pretty user friendly now. And once we clean up the files,
so just have to take a peek at all those. Also, my Kickstarter blaster, which was 10 years ago, there were people who are bummed that they never got in on it. So I'm thinking about modeling that and maybe chucking it up on the website for like $5 if people want to print their own.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Let's see, we have member of the Ghostbusters WV, or is that your? Or this is the Ghostbusters Northwest patch right here. You see the pine trees?
Yeah.
My friend over at Ghostbusters Northwest on Instagram got these made. There we go.
We got to see the new Ghostbusters movie with them when it came out with the crew.
Atomo Workshop do you ever do talks or seminars, particularly for either conventions or universities? I have done those things. Excuse me. Done lots of stuff at conventions, panels, and talks and whatnot. I've been invited to. I went to the University, the Art Institute in Seattle one time for a talk. I did a demo at my twin brother's high school one time, which was fun. We did a little science demo on molding and casting.
You're probably going to do some stuff at Emerald City Comic-Con this
Yeah,
year.
we're applying for panels.
Yeah.
So yeah, whenever I get a chance, I like being on stage. I like being in front of people. I like to talk. So whenever I get a chance, I like to jump at it. Here we go. Alex wants to know, how well did the Volvo mirror parts work out? And have you done any other projects similar to those? So my dad was over the moon. He was really happy about the new mirror handles. So that went great. He was able to install them on the car, and they should last longer than the car will now. I know I use like my prop making skills all the time to fix little things around the house. I just can't think of any right now.
Yeah.
But it's mostly for fixing little things. It can be so extremely useful. And with 3D printing too, you can measure parts and build a really custom, wacky shaped thing and have it fit together with some real world object. It feels very empowering to get to do stuff like that.
And there's also just certain things I just don't care to fix. Like, I don't know if it's because we rent this place, but like the 8 years ago or so, the microwave handle broke off the microwave. It's just a plastic handle. We still have the handle. I could replace it at any time. I could have 3D printed a new handle.
Or you can just lift the door from the bottom and pop it open like we do now.
Right. So that's what I've just been doing for the last 8 years. Is just you just pry open the bottom and it works just fine. So it's like I just have no desire to fix it.
I have to be inconvenienced enough to care.
Or I think a lot of it is helping someone else. So like if it was your car door handle, it might have been less of a priority. But because your dad wanted help with it, it became a fun project.
Yeah.
So there's that too.
There we go. The Nuka Zapper tutorial video was a good one to learn from. That's right. So I recorded myself modeling the Thirst Zapper.
Yeah.
Which I don't have one. That's another one that I have the files for that I'll put out.
Yeah, Bill wanted to put a little squirt gun inside of it so it could actually squirt water. So you have a 3D.
That was the thing I did at Tested.
Yeah.
And that's around somewhere.
Yeah. I don't think that video ever came out for them though.
No.
Yeah, anything like prop gun related was always a problem there. Used to be.
For a while. There was a while when YouTube was really butthurt about that stuff. That's around somewhere. I'm just trying to think where is it?
Oh, it has its own container.
It has a container.
Did you want me to go get it?
No, it's okay. I'll have to go look for it later though.
Now our bins are labeled. It wouldn't take that long. I'll go look for it.
Okay.
You keep doing your
thing. So I got the Thirst Zapper. I printed all the parts and then I tried to figure out how to jam a squirt gun in there so that it could squirt. And then I promptly forgot about that project or got distracted by something and it's in a box somewhere. But I would love to finish that Thirst Zapper. The video being referenced is we have a second channel, Punished Props Extras. The videos over there for our assembly videos go over there. A bunch of other stuff gets piled over there. And so if you want to watch me model something from start to finish, that's the place for it. I will say though, I don't do a lot of 3D modeling tutorials because it's a ton of work and editing yourself modeling something is painful. it's so you'll say, especially if I'm doing like a loft, I'll be like, okay, click on this profile, click on this profile, click on the third. Oh, it doesn't want to work for some reason. Hold on, let me figure that out. All right, click on this, then that, then it still doesn't work. It's like 5 minutes of that before I finally get it to work, and then I have to go in and try to edit all that out. It's just painful. So I've done a few 3D modeling tutorial type things, but it's look at that. Definitely one of my worst favorite things to do.
It's a little dusty.
I was kind of hoping I had already sanded this, but I did not. There's what I have of the Thirst Zapper. I have a Joker style extendo squirt gun here, and I dremeled out a hole in this, and that can go in there like that. And then the handle also dremeled out. Let's see, that'll go on there somehow. I don't think I fully figured this out. That doesn't fit at all. So yeah, this would require a little work before it would actually work. But there's our thirst zapper. I drilled a giant hole in the top of it. That must be to reload it. Yeah. So that hole is for putting more water in there.
How many years ago was it that you?
I don't know.
So it's definitely on the Ultimaker.
I gotta remember to put years on stuff to label things. Although at the time I fully expected to finish this thing in short order. Yeah.
We did paint one for someone. Didn't we do a video on that?
Yeah, I did that in LA.
Yeah.
With Allie.
That's right.
Not Allie Spagnola, Allie Williams. And man, I printed everything. This is great. You have to go like that or like that. Anyway, that's the thirst zapper. That's one of many unfinished projects.
There's a whole shelf of them in there. At least they're labeled.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is a good one. Andrew Mercer says, "Have you tried electroplating prints?" A lot of videos on this. Seems like they are some emerging technologies. I'd love to see you guys try. We haven't done it yet, but we very much want to. It looks like a lot of fun.
We have a couple of small things we could do too. That recently we did the Star Trek comm badges.
Mm-hmm.
We did a 3D printed one that we painted, and then we did a metal one on the CNC. So that would be cool to take something small like that and try and plate it. But also the noisy cricket.
Yeah, we should definitely.
I mean, that's supposed to look chromed anyway, yeah. So that would be like the thing to try.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both small things. So,
yeah.
And we already have the models for them. But yeah, it's just maybe now it's getting cold out and we don't want to be outside. We'll sit down and learn electroplating. And there's already great tutorials out there too, so we don't have to start from scratch.
Adam B says, on your second channel, would you do tutorials on photography and maybe videography? We may even just do that on our main channel.
Mm-hmm.
I personally I'm a photographer. I for a while I had aspirations of being a wedding photographer till I shot a few weddings and then I decided that it was not for me. But right now my hobby is animal photography, birds and mostly birds, but I'll take pictures of any animals, mostly my cats. And I get a lot of joy out of that. I especially love doing the filming, the photos and videos of our finished props. And I've done a couple of videos on that in the past, but it's been a while. And it'd be fun. Actually, once we get that fog machine.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to get my hands on a little portable fogger. Maybe we do another video on that.
Yeah. It's an old punished props one. You can look up it was like how to take photos of your props.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really good beginner content.
Yeah.
Things about like you need lights or go outside and just showing the difference I can make.
Mm-hmm. We follow a lot of video content producers.
Daniel Schiffer.
Daniel Schiffer does like product photography and commercials. Also, a lot of great tips for shooting props in a really fun and exciting way.
Yeah, it's really, his videos are just fun to watch.
Can I grab that lens? For the Rattler video, we borrowed this lens from a friend. It's kind of a special effects thing. You don't need it for everything, but it's this wacky probe lens. Look at this thing. It's got LEDs in the end of it because it's got such a high f-stop. It doesn't get a ton of light, so it needs a little extra light. You plug in a battery to it right here. This is for getting some really neat special effects type shots.
Get into tight spaces you couldn't get into otherwise, and it makes it look like you're very small.
Yeah, it's a macro lens, so you can get really close to stuff. Let me see. I have the shot on here. I was able to push that through the trigger well of the Rattler. Oh my gosh.
And like showing a video
just
from your phone.
This phone that I've had for 3 years.
There you
I
go.
want to scroll back. Okay, there we go. So I got to kind of do it this way. Yeah, I got to zip it through the trigger well there. Yeah, I put it on a slider and got to zip out. So that was really cool. In fact, while I have it, maybe I could shoot some footage for a video like that.
Sure.
Really
yeah,
fun.
even if it's just B-roll, that's something you can talk over later.
So yeah, I'm definitely down to shoot more video and photo tutorial type stuff.
Yeah, we've been talking about Punished Props just becoming more of a general maker channel because we still want to do prop stuff, but we might as well film the other stuff we're doing.
Yeah,
too.
We have lots of other stuff. We got a bunch of old tools from Britt's grandpa's barn. I'd love to do some restorations.
Yeah, like last year, our members saw this, our Extra Credit Club members. But we had these old rusty sleigh bells from my mom's horse pasture area, her horse barn, and they needed all new leather and everything. And I took them and turned them into door hangers. And I made a little video of it and just put it up on my personal channel. We also showed it to our members. But I'm like, that could just go up on our main channel. Maybe this year for Christmas, just release that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because we had back when we had sponsors every week, we had to make sure we were consistent and got numbers and now we're just like whatever.
Yeah.
I want to put up a video about sleigh bells.
Yeah.
And if only a couple people watch it, that's okay.
Tony Graybeard says, any more metal casting ideas or recasting your rings? Actually, my ring is still doing good. I think I cast this in 2017, maybe.
You had to, so that's pewter?
Yep.
So Bill had to get one of those ring mandrels to reshape it because it got a little bent. A little bit.
And it could use it. It needs to get polished pretty frequently, but otherwise, like, still works. Yeah. I don't have any plans to cast anything yet, but again, it's one of those things. We have the stuff, so when the need comes, we can make a mold and cast something.
I mean, in general, I would love to do more metal casting. Get a little melting foundry thing and do some brass casting. I think that would just be really fun.
Yeah.
But we're in a basement right now, and I don't know. I don't want to burn down our backyard, so not a priority.
No.
That and welding are two
Wayne
things.
says hi. Hello, Wayne.
Hi, Wayne.
Glad you're here. I have the first movie on the TV behind me. I hope you're talking about Ghostbusters. Flagon says, has there ever been something on a project that flat out or stalled you? How to do something or not getting a result you expected? I don't know. We're very finish line oriented. We especially since everything we do ends up as a video. It doesn't have to go the way we thought it would to complete the video. So sometimes we'll pivot. For example, I was going to put the slide mechanism in this prop. And after tinkering with it for a day, I decided it was probably going to take 3 more days to do it. I pivoted because it definitely had me stumped. I didn't feel like going through that struggle to finish this project and to finish the video.
Well, I think every single one of our projects has had compromises, and we usually just don't film every design choice.
Yeah.
But you see it in some of our videos where we're like, oh, we'll do it this way, and they're like, no. But I mean, like Bill said, like we can change the result. It doesn't have to.
Yeah. We make props, but our product is the videos.
Yeah. It's about the story of making the thing.
Everything's content.
Yeah. And a lot of the story isn't written ahead of time. We try to be more scripted, but it makes way more sense with the way we film to just go with it and see what we end up with.
Christopher says he'd like to get a foundry to melt down aluminum and brass scraps into something. Well, if you do that, you let me know and I'll come over and I'll bring some brass.
I love to do that. We watch Jimmy Dresta videos and he just cast a brass door knocker.
Yeah.
And it's so cool.
That looks awesome.
Yeah.
Adam B says, what about blacksmithing? That's something, if we could go take a blacksmithing class with Jimmy, that would be awesome.
Yeah, he used to do classes. I don't know if he still does.
They had a maker camp thing a couple of weeks ago.
Oh man.
That was when Alyssa was in town.
Yeah, that's right.
But I'd love to go fly out to New York for that at some point because I know they do blacksmithing type classes. I don't know if it's something like, I don't know if I'm going to have my own blacksmithing setup in anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
But it sure looks like fun, doesn't it?
Yep.
Alex Steele always makes it look fun. All the sparks.
Yeah, I mean, like filming it just looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like hot metal, sparks.
Andrew Mercer says, "Who are your favorite makers on YouTube?" Well, probably my favorite YouTuber has to be this old Tony. He's way up there. His humor just hits me right in the chest.
And he's into machining, which Bill enjoys.
Get excited about. Also, Inheritance Machining is another great machining channel.
Yeah, Inheritance Machining. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's a newer channel, but he started off right with a style and a script, and they're great right from the beginning. And he inherited a machining shop from his grandfather.
Yeah. And
it's about him cleaning up the tools and doing projects on them.
Great stuff.
Yeah. What was the other one you said?
ClickSpring.
Oh yeah, ClickSpring, classic.
So
I mean,
good.
if you haven't watched ClickSpring, he has a backlog.
Yeah.
He doesn't post too much anymore, but him and Wristwatch Revival inspired me to try and fix an old pocket watch, which has
sitting on the table right there.
It hasn't gotten worse, but it hasn't gotten working either. I broke many things, but have since repaired them. So I don't know if it'll run again.
Sure are learning a lot.
I learned that it's a lot harder than I thought it would be. Everything's tiny.
Everything's so small.
Yes.
Britt had to order a new part that was roughly 1.5 millimeters long. The entire thing. It was crazy. Fallout Gamer says, I don't have any questions I can think of, but I'm enjoying watching and listening to you both as I'm building a model for someone. Fantastic.
Ooh.
I'm glad we can be your white noise while you work. Here we go. And Christopher says he's been practicing some CNC stuff too, and he should have a lot of scraps for metal casting.
Cool.
I also have a bunch of metal scraps.
Yeah, Bill keeps his offcuts for sure.
And there are a lot of them, especially from that butterfly project.
Yeah, that was a learning project for sure.
Let's see here. Flagon says, comment, this was also the picture of us. Ever consider doing a Discord or such to talk with other folks on Zoom? I'm so glad you brought up Discord. We have a Discord channel. I'm going to share it. We don't have a dedicated...
it's not a Punished Props Discord. It's a Bill and Britt Discord.
It's just the stuff we want to talk about.
And prop making's one of the things. So
yeah. So we have general making type stuff. We have channels about sharing your progress stuff, stuff you finished, 3D printing, inspiration,
animal photos.
You want to share your pet photos? I want to see your pet photos. Photography, tools. There's a channel just for Dragon Con. I'm going to post the link in chat. There we go. So that's a temporary. We don't have a permanent link yet, but that's a temporary link. Anyone in chat, if you want to join our Discord server, it's free. Just come hang out. Everyone's really kind, and mostly just wants to talk about the things they're working on.
Yeah, people have been really helpful with each other on different projects, and it's not just costume stuff. It's like house repair and things. So
yeah,
it's nice.
And we'll probably have a channel for talking about video games and stuff, or certain video games that we're into.
Yeah, if we start up like a Valheim server,
Right.
we've been talking about doing a public game server, like one that we pay for and people can jump in. If we do that, we'll start
we'll do it over there.
That. Yeah.
Mostly though, I wanted a place that wasn't Twitter or Facebook where I could just go have conversations about the stuff I'm into. So if you're into that stuff too, please come hang out. I feel like it's a healthier place for me than Twitter. Tony Graybeard says a Jimmy DiResta collab would be fantastic. Jimmy and I are pals, and I have all of his things. I have his branded screwdrivers. I have his branded comically large razor knife.
You got to get the cast blade
The
there.
one that,
the very sharp and dangerous blade.
I have to get my Jimmy DiResta ice pick out of the way so that I can get my Jimmy DiResta crazy knife thing.
So that was a video we did. Bill cast that handle around the blade blank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super cool.
So I've never done a full-on collaboration with Jimmy, but that would be really terrific.
It's funny, whenever we get to upstate New York, we have a hard time justifying going to see Jimmy because that's where all our family's from.
Yeah, they want to see us.
Yeah, so we do family things. We have lots of nephews and nieces and parents, they want to see your face.
Yeah. Let's see here. Left Out Blondie Hack. She's building a steam engine model right now. That's amazing.
What? That's incredible.
Let's see. Atomo Workshop says, back in the day, I used to love watching your build live streams while I worked on my own props. Do you have any plans to do them again or some variation of them? I definitely want to do more. This was kind of a test. We haven't live streamed on YouTube in a very long time.
Since it was Google Hangouts back in the day.
So this is kind of a test for that. And I would love to do some version of live streaming every once in a while. I don't know what that'll end up looking like. But I definitely want to have more of this.
Yeah, we have a lot of backlogs of kits we haven't finished, of just cool resin kits, some repaints we want to do. Yeah. So that might be good to do like Q&A while working on something.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's all stuff like the District 9 rifle.
Yeah, it's a good example.
There's a lot of busy work that has to be done on it, and I'm not going to film another District 9. We did like 4 videos.
Yeah, we have videos on making it.
I'm not going to film another District 9 video probably, so a live stream would be a great place for that.
Yeah, we have the casting of that, but we just don't have a finished one.
No.
And also, where are we going to put it? Like,
that's a great question.
The skeleton horse head took up enough room.
Yeah. But we have a list of stuff like that we could do on a live stream. Let's see. All Out Nerddom says, have you thought of doing any more Valheim props? Absolutely.
Yeah, we just did a Valheim replay.
Yeah.
It's the beginning loop of that game is so good. So good. And we love the making of your own town type vibe.
Punching trees and we actually, friends of ours started up a new server like 3 days ago and we joined them.
Yeah, we joined to help out. And it's just such a great time.
So yeah, I got a list of stuff I'd love to make.
Yeah, so when we made the Porcupine Mace, that was before Mistlands came out, and in Mistlands they added a magic system. So there's like cool staffs that use like those red cubes. They like jam that into a staff. Like that would be cool to make.
Yep.
We talked about doing full costumes too, but it's like, do you do it a real life looking Viking, or do you try and do their pixelated art style? It's
it'd be kind of fun to try and do that.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot of work, but it would look really cool.
I personally, like, the style is a little weird to me, like, because it's trying to like emulate a style that never was. Like, it's like kind of like PlayStation 1 but with higher resolution. Like, I don't know, but it makes the game work well, is the style that it is. But yeah, we'd have to repaint our Porcupine Mace if we went for more of a pixelated style.
A lot of people just joined Discord.
Aw, that's great. I hope you like animal photos. So we've our entertainment lately is buying a bag of peanuts in the shell for animals, and we have what are called in the Pacific Northwest. We have they're not blue jays, they're called Stellar's jays, and they love peanuts in the shell. They'll take them and like parade them around and then bury them in the backyard. So we've been feeding them. And we started out with 2, and then they had babies, so now we have many. And then the squirrels showed up, so now we have some squirrels that we feed.
Speaking of Discord, Christopher has been sharing his Ecto Goggle progress over there.
Speaking of Ecto Goggles, so good.
Let's see here. Adam B has a question. Have you had a no way moment when it comes to an obscure technique that seemed like it shouldn't have worked but did? That's a good question. I'm having a hard time think of anything where I was like, whoa, I can't believe that worked.
Used to happen a lot.
Yeah. But it's been a while. Things have been predictable the last couple of years, which has been really, really terrific for my mental health.
I think just, in general, I wasn't expecting FDM printers to get as good as they are, as fast as they are. Like this new wave of bamboo and what's it called? Something pathing, where it. Yeah,
or the Prusa machine we just got, the Mark IV, has input shaping.
Shaping, that's what it is.
Which makes it like almost twice as fast.
Yeah.
It's crazy fast.
So yeah, like I with our new 3D printing venture, we've been having people test out the things we're making for it. And we bought a Prusa Mark III last year, and the things on that print fairly fast. But one of the people we have testing our prints has the Mark IV and is doing this input shaping, and he printed it in literally half the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? It's like in my little PDF of how to assemble the item, I have like the print time estimations, and he like halved it. So we're still, I don't know, we're still getting impressed with this. I did feel like resin printing still has a ways to go with becoming user friendly, but FDM printing is like, man, it looks good and prints fast.
People are sharing dog photos.
Yay! Oh, we're just gonna sit here and look at Discord now.
Yes, please share your pet photos.
Yes. So yeah, you'll see bird and squirrel photos from us and cat pictures always.
Let's see. Have you ever made a real world thing as a joke, like the wrench behind you? So we have a. Where's the wrench? There. So we made a few, not as a joke. This is technically a Fallout prop, but that's a great. Actually, as a practice for replicating stuff, replicating a normal, mundane, real world object, make it look as close as possible to the real thing would be a great practice.
We could do like a spoof off the Is It Cake show.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it foam? Is it foam?
And so you have to hit yourself in the head with it. Once you pick it up, you know.
I think we could sell this idea to Netflix. This is great. Is it foam?
There was a time when we had some.
It gets dropped on your head.
We had this sitting next to a real wrench of someone who was doing maintenance on the house.
Yeah.
And it looked cool with next to a real wrench, but yeah.
Is it foam? And you have to pull a lever. You can look at it
and it lands on you.
And you decide to pull a lever.
And then you go to the hospital.
Did you ever get anywhere with the 3D printing time lapses? You know what? I haven't tried that yet. I now have a second Prusa machine to set up. But yeah, I really want to get Octoprint set up with a camera so that I can print really pretty time lapses. Nerdy Views, Elton there has printed. He does a lot of 3D printing, and you can set up a time lapse so that it prints a layer, moves the head out of the way, it snaps a photo, prints the next layer, moves it out of the way, snaps a photo, and you get this video where it just like it like magically prints the. It's really cool.
That'd be really cool.
I haven't done it yet, but when we start making more 3D printed kits, I want to start dabbling with that. I did get some good CNC time lapses on the wooden grips for this video.
Yeah, those looked really good.
Yeah, I think I shared one of those on Twitter recently. Time lapses are really cool. We are time lapse snobs.
Yeah, there's definitely a place for them. I really like the time lapses where you can see something change over time. So like if you have a stack of wood and you're cutting on the table saw and the stack gets smaller on one side and bigger on the other side, I think that's a great example of a time lapse. Watching something be carved or printed, I think is really good. When it's someone working, like an overhead time lapse where their hands are moving really fast and you can't tell what they're doing, I feel like those are less effective.
But like that thing, that's a time lapse of my CNC machine working on the grips there. Yeah, do that again.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that's really so. Showing time lapses show the progression of time.
Yeah.
And so you want to show a thing that takes a long time quicker in a way that is distinguishable. I also have this video of me feeding 3 squirrels by hand. Would you like a nut?
Yep.
And you would like a nut? And you would like a nut.
That's our life now.
Yeah,
it's pretty great.
So many squirrels.
We're so hungry.
I'm so glad I got a picture of this.
Oh, this is great. Our
neighbor has a live edge bumper.
It's my favorite. So good. Whenever we see it, we give them a thumbs up.
I gotta save that. I gotta send that to all my woodworking friends because they'll like my
your live edge
joke. Excellent.
These are the things that bring us joy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, if you guys have some more questions, chuck them in the chat. I'd be happy to answer them, but we will probably wrap this up here in a little bit.
Yeah, this worked pretty well. When I was listening to it upstairs, the audio was fine. The video looked fine.
Good.
Our internet's holding up. That was another question.
Yeah, we're doing everything. There's a laptop and a webcam. We're doing it as minimal as possible. I don't want this to become a huge production. it just takes a ton of time. So we're just doing it by the seat of our pants.
It's nice to see after 8 years that YouTube streaming has improved.
Yeah, seems like it worked great. We
used to run our chat through like IRC.
Yeah, we did. That was back in the day.
Yeah.
If you guys were wondering when back in the day is, it's when people were still using IRC. And I'm sure many of you are still using IRC. Yeah. Just not us.
And we probably won't be streaming on Twitch again. A couple years ago, I canceled our partnership just to have options in case we wanted to stream on YouTube. So that was back when you had to, if you were streaming, you were in a partner, you had to stream on Twitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, like since this is where our YouTube channel lives, it makes sense to stream here.
Oh, we got some more questions. Any thoughts on making a resin table? We'll leave that to Evan and Caitlin.
They're pros.
They are pros.
Maybe eventually, like if we get our own place and we need to furnish it, like right now we have enough furnished stuff for a tiny house.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't have a place for a table right now.
Yeah, once we get our own, like own a house, we'll go overboard making like, I want it to look like a hobbit hole in there with just like fancy wood furniture.
Oh, and I need like secret passages.
Oh yeah, secret doors and whatnot.
Yeah, so that'd be super cool. But yeah, maybe if one of our friends needs a table, maybe.
Yeah.
But
Keith says, what takes up the majority of your time with workload? Most of what we end up spending our time on is filming and editing videos.
A lot of computer work.
Yeah. And it depends on the project. So for this project, I spent a lot of time in front of the computer 3D modeling it. I spent a lot of time sanding. So that was the workload for that project.
Yeah, and most of that Bill filmed himself.
Yeah.
So we used to have it for a couple years there. I was filming Bill or vice versa. But and a lot of that one, he just had his camera on a tripod, so I could do other computer work stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of not enough shop time sometimes, but we've also been taking it pretty easy, which is great.
Compared to the years prior.
Yeah.
Let's see. Alex says, what made you decide to go with the Prusa 3D printers? Well, they're first and foremost, they make really amazing printers. I've met a lot of the people at Prusa. We have friends who work there. And as a company, I like what they're up to. They seem to be leaders. A lot of people copy them. And I like how dedicated they are to open source. I like how open they are about everything that they do.
Printables.com is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We printed some stuff from there, and it seems like a cool community. Also Joel was selling a kit, a Prusa 3 kit.
So our friend had a printer in the box, ready to go, and we're like, sure, we'll take it.
Yeah, it was fun to assemble. It was a good experience. So we just got a hold of the Mark IV, and that's been very, very fun.
Oh yeah, super exciting.
But yeah, I'm sure we'll end up with other ones. Our resin printers are the Anycubics. We still have our Ultimaker 2, but it's really showing its age, especially next to the other ones. I mean, it's an old printer. It needs to be serviced, I think.
Yeah, it could use a little tune-up.
Yeah.
It just I needed to put a new nozzle in it. That made a big difference. I think I need to re-level the bed and
and any of the other printers you've seen on our channel, we've given away to friends or anyone who needed one. So we just have a couple in the house right
now. Let's see here. Have you? Where was it? Someone said, "Have you ever given up on a video due to something going sideways?" I have a lot of projects that haven't been finished, but usually if we start filming a video, we finish it.
Yeah.
Of the combining our second channel and our main channel, we've filmed something like 1,400 videos, and I think we've probably bailed on less than 10 of them.
Yeah.
And usually it's like because we had an idea and we started filming it and then we got sidetracked or
like for example, recently I've been filming personal projects, and not too much, but like the pocket watch we brought up before. I started filming that mainly so I could use the footage as reference to put it back together. But as I was filming, I was like, oh, maybe this will make a cute little video. And then things started going sideways and I broke some stuff. So I don't think that footage will ever see the light of day, but it has been helpful filming.
Yeah.
But yeah. Usually, if we sit down for a project, we already have a plan.
And like we said, the project can go sideways, and it'll still make for a good video. So we'll finish the video. Tony wants to know if we have any hints for our next video. So our very next video, we'll be assembling this 3D printed Eon blaster from Starfield. This is one of Jury from the 3D Workbench's models that he sent to me, and we use it to test our new Prusa Mark IV printer. It worked great. I got to sit down with Norm from Tested yesterday and do a little assembly video with him. So that's what will be coming up next.
It's very cute. I got to film it.
Yeah.
Norm and Bill are great together on camera.
I also might make another Starfield blaster. Hey, I have an itch that hasn't been scratched yet. We'll see. I did start working on that. I will probably finish it. I'm not going to tell you what it is though, in case I don't finish it.
I mean, I don't know if you want to show a teaser of some of our 3D printing venture stuff. You have a prototype down.
Do we have one here?
You have your lock.
The what?
Your lock.
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, we're designing some of our own stuff for a new 3D printing venture that will be separate from the prop making stuff. And I designed this little padlock, and when you turn the key, it pops open. Look at that. Then you push it down, and it locks. Yeah.
So cool.
So it's everything. It's printed in multiple pieces, so you can print all these parts in different colors. It's got a mechanism. I'm really infatuated with mechanisms. It's got this little trap door for the key. So we've been designing stuff like that for a different venture here. Britt's been designing some stuff.
Yeah.
I have a couple of things already done.
Yeah, it's something we were wanting to get into, designing kits for people to assemble, but we wanted it to be a digital thing so people could download them and print them themselves. And 3D printing seemed like a great way to do that. Yeah, so we'll probably be setting up clubs on Printables next month, printables.com, where you can subscribe and get these models to print. We'll see how it goes. It's all kind of up in the air right now, but that's our current plan. And we'll have a YouTube channel for the assembly videos, but they'll be very much instructional, like follow along to assemble. Maybe we'll do some stuff on the main channel as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's been really fun doing that behind the scenes. Just leveling up our mechanical skills, getting stuff to actually work in meat space from 3D modeling is pretty cool. Bill's way better at it than I am. He has more experience.
I do. I started learning AutoCAD when I was 12. My mom had a computer from her class. I'm just putting hearts on all the animal pictures.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah. Bill's on Discord looking at animals.
Yeah. Yep. My mom got to bring her computer home from her classroom every summer, and her computer had AutoCAD on it, and she knew how to use it, so she taught me.
So cool.
Cat needs
I mean, I'm fine with like digital space modeling, like polygon modeling, but when you have to take that and bring it into the real world and have it function, like for instance, the 3D model for the Rattler was made for a video game, and all of the pieces intersect with each other and don't actually like have clearances, and there's a lot of cheating.
Yeah.
Some of the other designs, the triggers would go into the magazines if they were real, and like it wouldn't actually work. But when you have to make something in real space, in meat space, it's a lot more thinking you have to do.
Alex just wants to thank us for the work. You got it, Alex. Tristan says, do you have any advice on finding local or online maker communities? Yeah, so the advice I give to people who are looking to connect with other people is to exude what you want out of the world, right? So with communities, you want to find people who share, who are helpful, right? So be the kind of person who shares things, be the kind of person who is helpful. Go out of your way when you can tell someone needs help. Don't expect anything in return. And especially if you offer help and someone says, I don't need the help, you'll be respectful of that. You don't need to be pushy. But really look for the things that you want out of the world and try and be that, right?
Yeah, if someone has an event then they need help setting up for.
Yeah, lend a hand.
That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I mean, as far as traditional maker spaces go, they literally come and go. Like we had one in southern Seattle that was around for a little while and now is gone. So I guess just like keep an ear out where you are. If you're near any kind of city, there might be a chance of having one. But it seems like they're really hard to keep in business.
Yeah, it's a tough business model to sustain.
Yeah, the maker spaces I've seen succeeding are the ones that are parts of schools, like universities and colleges and high schools, because they're funded by the school or people donate to it.
Brian from VidLab is here.
What?
Hey, Brian. Good to see you, old buddy. VidLab, that's where Brittany and I worked at Microsoft a million years ago. Thanks for stopping by, Brian. I hope you're having a wonderful Halloween. Adam thinks we should send our lock to the lock-picking lawyer. You're not the first person to recommend that. He will defeat it very quickly. It's not a difficult lock.
It's one of those things when Bill was designing it, we were like, man, it would be fun to use in like a D&D game when someone gets to pick a lock.
Yeah.
Because you can probably pick it real easily.
Yeah, with like a paper clip or something.
Yeah. Give him an actual tool and be like, oh, you rolled a 20, you get to pick it.
Yeah.
And actually get to pick the lock. But no, like I'll put a disclaimer that it's like this is not for keeping your valuables safe.
Yeah.
This is a decorative.
This is a novelty lock.
Novelty lock.
Actually, a lot of the locks that the lock-picking lawyer picks feel like novelty locks.
Oh, burn.
Core Geek is here. Hey, Eric. He says he's printing this thing right now.
Awesome.
And I believe he has a more advanced version of this as well with internals and like the reloading mechanism.
Oh, what?
Maybe I inspired him.
Well, Eric was sanding, so.
Yeah, Eric's always sanding though. That's the secret. He's like, I'm gonna drift into guitar making as a hobby for a while.
Turns out
you do a lot of sanding there too. Fantastic. Yeah, Adam says it would perform better than a master lock. Hey-o! That's terrific.
Oh, I love it when he throws shade at a company.
Oh, he has the best shade. He's so good at like the backhanded compliment.
And when you go to watch one of his videos and you see it's like 1 minute and 40 seconds long, you're like, oh, this
well,
is
that was
good.
quick. He looked at it with a stern look, and the lock popped right open. Eric is literally sanding a guitar right now. Well, that is appropriate. Fantastic. Well, I'm thinking we're probably going to wrap this up here in a minute. If you have any last minute questions, chuck them in the chat. We'll get those answered, and then we're going to probably go play Return to Moria. Yeah,
our dwarves are in a tough spot right now.
They are. We got them into a bit of trouble. We are at the bottom of a very deep hole that we can't get out of. We have very few supplies.
Classic crafting survival game.
We do have a plan though.
Yes. It involves Bill.
I'm gonna
destroying his bedroll.
I'm gonna leave all my stuff, die, hopefully get teleported back to the beginning where I can grab some important stuff and bring it back down the hole. That's the current plan.
Video games.
Yes. Thanks for hanging out, Kevin. Happy Halloween to you and your terrific dog.
Yeah, I hope you all have a good Halloween. We're just gonna play it chill. We don't get kids on our streets. We're just gonna turn off the lights and not give out candy and play video games.
Yes, Tony, we're planning on doing more of these. I don't know what the frequency will be, but I miss doing this, and I'd like to do more.
Yeah, I can tell you're having a really good time.
Yeah.
I think you miss getting to chat with the community. We got a lot of that at DragonCon, and we're like, man, we could start doing live streaming again.
Yeah. Just for a while, we were so bogged down by the normal video production that live streaming became erroneous. It was
hard to justify.
Yeah, it's hard to justify
with all the sponsorship requirements and things we had to do.
Yeah.
But now we can do whatever we want.
All right. That will do it for us then. We'll put this up on the YouTube channel, I imagine.
Yeah, it might automatically go up.
Might as well.
They have a whole like live section that things get filtered to now. So we'll see where this goes.
Yeah. That'll do it. Hopefully, I don't think the guy that won the Rattler was watching, but hopefully he got my message. This will get sent out to him soon. If anyone else wants to 3D print one of these, we got files over on our website. And like I said, we have a bunch of other stuff I'm going to be adding soon, like this Oblivion blaster.
Yeah, those will be up on the free section, I think.
Yeah.
The Oblivion one.
And when I do that, I'll make a video.
Yeah.
To show everyone, because it's a lot of stuff. And that will do it. Thank you again for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.